What's up everybody, this video is for subscribers only, like I've told you a million times, so if you haven't hit the subscribe button already, you're gonna need to do that right now so you don't miss out, or you could just miss out. You don't wanna miss out, do you? No, hit the subscribe button. For those of you who have been paying attention to the vlog, you will know that I recently just bought a Koenigsegg and a McLaren. Koenigsegg is my favorite car, and I'm going to get to detail that out exactly how I want it. Customize it, every little detail, and that's going to happen sometime in the future, perhaps a year and a half from now. But the McLaren, I didn't get to customize because all of the models that I bought were already built and customized or spec'd out by the people who bought them before I bought it. So I got one brand new, but I got it off the lot. It came with what it came with. And I'm not too happy with it. It's better in person than it was in pictures, but I still want to change it. So I'm going to go through and show you guys some of the customizations I want to make to the McLaren and get your opinions on it, because I'm still not 100% sold that it's exactly right. So I want to hear what y'all have to say about it, any suggestions you guys might have, because I'm not the best at designing things. So anyway, let's jump into the computer. I'm going to show you what it looks like currently and what I got going on and what I want it to look like. So here we go. Currently, the McLaren looks like this. It's a color, it's a spectacular paint color, honestly. It's called Amethyst Black, but it's black and it's got an orange brake calipers and orange seat belts on the inside. So it looks kind of like this. And so what I've done is I've brought into my photo editor here some samples of the McLaren. So the samples I brought in are orange. I wanted to start on the back because I like the back a lot. It's one of my favorite parts about this car. So the first thing I wanted to do though is I wanted to make this a different color. And I was thinking it was going to be some sort of bluish. So I'm thinking somewhere in this range, but it's a bit bright for me. So something kind of like that. Let's see here, maybe a little bit more color to it. I think that's about where I'd want it. So it's kind of a flat blue. It's kind of desaturated a little bit. Well, it's kind of saturated, but it's dark. So it's got a little bit of color, but it's still kind of this matte color to it. And then one of the things I wanted to do to it is I like to put little accent color lines on things. So I'm going to go ahead and draw some of those in. And one of the things that I really liked about my prior McLaren was the exhaust was red. So I'm thinking kind of a blue and white color scheme. So I kind of like that, just to give it a little bit of kick. And then I'm not going to do a whole lot else to the back, but on the rear fin, I do want to add some stuff on the rear fin. So that's kind of what I want to do on the back, but on the side, and I guess I'll show you this on the side, I really like the aerodynamics of this car, and I want to emphasize kind of the way the air would flow and slip around the cockpit, because it's one of the most beautiful things about the car in my opinion. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of an accent line, and we're going to kind of follow, if you look at the back here, this line kind of wraps around and goes back down by the engine. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to follow this cockpit line. So now you can see we got the back, we got the stripe here on the tail, and we got these lines kind of like wrapping around the car a little bit, coming back towards the engine. Another thing that I want to do on the side here is I really like this little air intake. When you see this car in person, it's kind of, there's a three-dimensionality to it that's really cool. So I think I'm going to put another accent line kind of on this little wing. Yeah, I kind of like that. I don't want to get too crazy with it. I don't want to, see, this is where I get a little bit confused. I don't want to get too crazy with it, but I do want to have some accent lines and some white on this, kind of outlining it. So here we are looking at the side of the car, and you can't really see the accent line up here on the top, so I've left it off, but you can see this one here, and I do like that. I like that look on it a lot. The only other thing here on the side of the car that I wanted to go over was the rims. And this is one of the things I can't decide. My rims currently are this silvery color. I personally think it looks better with these black rims on it, but I really don't know. So I'd love to hear your all's opinion on what that looks like. But one thing I am sure of is I want these brake calipers to pop and be white. So just to give it a little bit of extra depth there. You got the blue and the white on the outside, and get a little bit of depth on the kind of almost sitting inside the car with the brake calipers. So I'm gonna go ahead and change those to be white. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect representation. I said I'm not the best at design, but you can see how it gives a little bit of extra pop in that area when you have those white calipers in there. So I like that, but I think that's enough to communicate to the design team. So I'm gonna move on to, I think, the front of the car here. And we have these lines on the side. Let's go over here. We have these lines kind of wrapping around the cockpit. And what I want them to do is I want them to come all the way around the cockpit. So you can see they would start right here. And I want them to wrap around to the end of that line. Now this line goes a little bit down here, but the sharpness of it really ends right about in that area. So a little bit hard to see with the white that's on the car right now, but that's one thing I want to do. And I definitely want to have a little bit of that stripe. If you remember back at the beginning, we put this stripe right here kind of on the back fin of the car, and I want to have that carry over the cockpit to the front here. So I think I'll save that. One other idea that I had on it was to do a little bit of a diagonal. So I guess this is kind of where I'm stuck. I don't know if I want a thin stripe. Do I want to go with a thin stripe on the front, or do I want to go with a diagonal stripe on the front? And I'm thinking I want the diagonal stripe. That's what I'm leaning towards, but I don't know. The thin stripe ties in with the back. I guess I'm going to ask my YouTube audience, what do you like more? Do you like the thin stripe tying in with the back stripe on the tail fin, or do you like the thicker stripe? Because I think the thicker stripe looks better on the front. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you want the thin one, comment thin. If you want the diagonal one, comment diagonal, and help me make this decision. All right, moving on, because a couple things I definitely know I want. I want to accent some of the stuff down here, the carbon fiber. I don't know if I want to do just the small one, or do I want to do the whole thing? Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at right now. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I'm really not sure. I guess I have another question for you guys, if you could let me know what you think. Is it too busy on the front? I mean, we got accent lines coming here. Everything's kind of coming to the nose of the car. Everything's coming right into this front space here. You got a lot of lines, a lot of leading lines. Is it too busy? I think it looks pretty sweet, but let me know if you guys think it's too busy, because I might take out, maybe take out these ones. I'm confused on this part, so I need some feedback. Let me know what you guys think about this. So here we are at my favorite view of the car. It's gorgeous in my opinion. I'm definitely open to being wrong about that, so I'd love to hear y'all's opinions, but got the white brake calipers, you got these lines. I may put another line going along the bottom of the car here, a little accent line, but this is kind of what I'm thinking. I like the color. It reminds me a lot of like lightning, kind of like electrifying the car and also flowing around the cabin, kind of melting with the car and the sculpture of it. So I really like it. I'd love to hear y'all's feedback on what you think of it. The blue, again, the rims. Do I change the rims out? Do I go aggressive on the front with the lines? Do I go the diagonal hood line, or do I go the straight hood line? Couple different questions I have, but this is kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm interested to hear y'all's thoughts on my design process, on my color scheme, what it reminds you of, what I might name it. If you got any thoughts on it, let me know in the comments below, because it's just not quite there. There's something else that's missing that it's just not quite right. So I need y'all's help on this one. But if you got this far with me, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. If you haven't hit that subscribe button already, you cheated. But I'll give you a second chance right now to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this or any future content. I got a lot of good stuff coming out this season, a lot of good stuff planned. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.